All right, here we are at Crossroads 2024. This is round number 2, and as you can see, I got off to about a 4th place start. We're running Super Senior B here, and should have got a better start. Got right up to the hay bale, and kind of the guy inside me kind of went straight when we should have been turning towards the hay bale, so it pushed me way out wide. So I basically just had to kind of let him control the inside and just kind of turn right once he started to turn right. But made a quick pass there, just a few turns into the woods here, and going to make another quick pass here. So right now I'm in 2nd place. I know that the guy up ahead of me is on my row. I'm not 100% sure if he's in Super Senior or if he's in Golden Masters. I'm not completely sure. I don't know who it is, but I actually really enjoyed following him for a while because he rides really good, and he was pretty much kind of running a lot of the lines that I would have probably picked. So I just kind of follow him for about the first lap. So we're just kind of feeling the dirt out right now and seeing what the woods are like. I've never raced here before. And what's going to be pretty much typical of every race this season is we have a lot of passes to make really quick. So you can see that me and the guy ahead of me, and we're on the same row. We're on row 14, but we've got all the C classes ahead of us. So pretty much as soon as we hit the woods, we have to start passing people. And my goal really at this point is really kind of just keep up with this guy. So I know I'm in 2nd, and there's a lot of traffic, and I'm just at this point just kind of waiting for somebody to get in the way and kind of give me an easy pass. It's kind of what I'm looking for. I liked the woods here, and I liked the dirt here really well. It was just a little bit wet in a few places, but for the most part, the dirt was just primo today. I mean, I think I probably only pulled about 3 tear-offs the entire day. And it's not really because I absolutely had to, it's just that I kind of thought about it and decided to pull one. So again, just kind of following the guy ahead of me here, and just kind of mirroring his pace. I kind of feel like at this point that we're running a decent pace, and I don't really have to push a whole lot harder than this at this point, but definitely looking for a line somewhere to make just an easy pass is kind of my goal.
Let's go!
Really enjoy the way that Crossroads lays out the courses. Plenty of arrows, plenty of tape, plenty of markers and banners and stuff like that. I think they do a good job laying out the course, so you really don't get lost. And that's probably nothing more frustrating to me than when you get lost during a race. So I've got a different set of tires on right now, and I've never ran these tires before. I pretty much run Starcross 5 softs. I just don't think there's a better tire made. But man, they're proud of them. And so I decided to try these Tusk tires that Rocky Mountain sells. And just quite frankly, I'm a little tentative on my first lap here because I'm just not completely sure that I like these tires yet. The straight line traction for the back tire seems to be really good, but I'm just not completely sure that the front tire holds in turns and stuff as well as the Starcross. So there, got a good pass on the outside of that turn right there. And I actually made several passes on the outside of that turn right there during the race. But again, just trying to keep up here, unless I just get so sick of the roost that I'm going to push a pass, and I do think I get a pass right up here.
Inside. Inside.
So I kind of run the inside here, and then try to kind of open up the pace just a little bit. The course was fun. I enjoyed it. It did break down quite a bit by the end of the race. Not too bad. Got a lot of the typical exposed routes and things like that. So by the end of the race, an old man like me, I was pretty beat up. But by and large, it was a pretty good race. I made a couple of clicker adjustments for this race. Of course, the last one was all sand, so had made a few adjustments prior to this race. It was fairly cool this day. I mean, to the point that in the pits when we were getting ready, it felt downright cold. So I actually wore 2 jerseys because I wanted to stay warm enough. And even with 2 jerseys on, I really didn't break a lot of a sweat. So a little cool this day, but man, no complaining. It was an absolute great day to ride. All this grass track here in this whole field, it was quite a bit of fun. The good thing about the grass track and having a lot of grass track is it was a place where you could pass if you really needed to make a pass. So coming down here in the woods, and what I've typically found is that I try not to stop ever. I will pick a hard line and go a hard line versus stopping. And so I try not to pass, or try not to stop if at all possible, ever.
Outside.
And every once in a while that can get you into trouble, but what I find is that when you stop, you let everybody get caught up to you, and then you just end up losing time. So I try to just pick a harder line than what everybody else is trying and keep moving. That uphill would have been fun to air out if there wasn't all those trees up there. A couple of the tougher sections of the course are coming up. A couple of that hill back there that you just seen, that got a little bit tougher toward the end of the race. This section here got pretty ruddy, but same token, you could also make passes in this if you picked the right line. So I got just about everybody behind me now, and I see a good opportunity to get by this guy. Yeah, I got my hands just a little bit wet, but that was just too easy of a pass to not go ahead and run through that water a little bit harder than him. Now I got clear track. You can pretty much see how good the dirt is. It's pretty much perfect. All right, this section coming up here, I'm going to call the pinwheel of death. Never quite ran anything like this in a hare scramble race before. And I had seen it in one of the previous videos, and they had said that they were going to put it back out. And so this was kind of interesting. I really, the first lap, man, I really tiptoed through here to the point that I let the guy that I passed, who was running first, I let him by here toward the end of this thing because I'm really just kind of tiptoeing through here.
Holy moly!
And I should have just been pushing a little bit faster, and it's easier to run these ruts when you're going a little bit faster. So I'm kind of putting the first lap. I didn't want to just kind of cross rut and fall over because everybody was falling over in this thing. Good practice though. My son ran pro today, and he got 6th in pro, but he got stuck in that big hole that formed later on in the race. So that really messed him up. So there's the guy that I had just passed earlier. He's now back into first. And so once again, I'm just going to kind of follow him for a while. The pace that we were running, I could pretty much just kind of let him pull out a little bit and then just kind of reel him back in when I needed to. So I just kind of following him. Again, he's just picking pretty good lines and he's running a decent pace, so no reason to get too hasty here. We're early in the day. About one lap in, I went to take a drink and the bite valve on my hydration pack fell off. So that was interesting. Not sure if I didn't put it on all the way or what, but so I struggled the rest of the race with getting a drink. And when you're old like me, you need a drink. So had to fight with that for the rest of the race, trying to drink out of my hydration pack without a bite valve. So I think by the end of the race, with about 2 laps to go, I didn't have anything left in my hydration pack because I think as much was leaking out as I was drinking. So that definitely messed me up a little bit. But I feel like we're running a pretty good pace here. I know the last race, I think the pros lapped us really when we were at the end of still the first lap. And this race, they definitely lapped us later than that. So either they had a harder time working up through all the lappers, or, you know, being that it wasn't sand, maybe everybody could just run just a little bit better pace maybe. And this was muddy, but really still pretty good traction in here. I didn't really have any problems. Even later when it got a lot sloppier, as long as you picked the right line, you were pretty much okay in most of this stuff. It really wasn't anything too tough in this entire race. It was just pretty fun and flowy and pretty much good traction just about everywhere. The dirt here really had quite a bit of sand mixed in with it to me. Once we got about 4 laps on it, 4, 5, 6 laps on it, and a lot of the stuff started breaking down, it started getting more challenging. But first lap or two really was just fun. Once we got past the bulk of the slower sea riders, it really wasn't. It was pretty good time. Looks like this guy ahead of me's got some hydration pack problems too. It looks like his hose is hanging down where he can't get to it. Oh, it looks like he's grabbing for it there. So again, I'm just kind of keeping my eye on the guy that's in my row, and he's got a couple more bike links now on me, so I'm kind of getting a little anxious to get by here. Got a little sketchy saplings right there. Got to barrel into the woods there. So again, just looking for a way by here. You can just tell that the woods are good.
Not your row.
I'm getting a little more anxious here to find me a spot by now, because I know that if the guy ahead of me gets 3 or 4 more passes, and now he's going to put 3 or 4 more bikes ahead between us, and I'm definitely
Thank you.
not wanting that to happen. kind of eyeballing a few spots here, trying to want to get back by. And actually, I got a little clip toward the end of the video here to show you where I get by him. I get back by him on the second lap. He makes it easy for me. He makes just a little mistake and lets me by. Probably could have pushed it right there just a little bit, but again, early in the race, no reason to get too crazy trying to make passes. Looked to me like the course was real similar to the course that they ran last year. I did watch a couple of videos of last year's race, and it looked pretty similar. So I know we're probably itching to get by here. I know he's trying to keep these guys from holding us up anymore. He makes a pass here, so I think I try to sneak in right. Yeah, I sneak in right behind him and try to keep him right ahead of me. So this is going to be the end of the first lap, and again, great course, great organization. They just run a pretty tight ship here, which I really appreciate. So here, I added a little clip to show you where I finally got back by. Again, he made it really easy for me. Didn't really have to work for it. We're up against this creek on the left side of the creek now, and there was a pretty slick spot up here, and he just right there kind of falls off the course down into the creek, so it makes it easy for me. But hope everybody enjoys the video, and we'll see you at the next round.